one of the few things I can put in words as a father, because most of it you can't. It's as you watch your babies grow up and the things they take on, the things they start to figure out the world, and just their joy in figuring those things out, and just watch their little brains try to just pick things apart. Like most of that stuff you can't put into words. It's just beautiful to witness in real time. But one of the few things that I can attest to and I can put into words is like you envy their curiosity and just their wonder about the world, because it gives them courage and it gives them confidence to try things, because they, in that curiosity, in that wonder, they're not worried about judgment. They're not worried about criticism. We, as we go to these play parks and playgrounds, and you watch all the kids and they are trying like new things. And my boy is 3, and you watch them and they watch each other, and when they make attempts at things, and they make reckless attempts at stuff, and you could, on the outside, you can call it failure, because whatever they're trying to do, like the beginning and end of it, the task of it, like this is how it should potentially go, and sometimes it doesn't go that way. Oftentimes it doesn't go that way. But as you watch them make these attempts, and they don't lose any enthusiasm, and they make attempt after attempt, and they fall in love with the falling. They're laughing at the joy of just trying it out. And and that caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting, as a new father, to experience that. And when you're watching these kids and just courageously just try things they didn't know that were possible, and they're so happy to make the attempt, and they're so happy at the process, and it's the small things. They don't care about the end result. And you realize the power in that. And if you could instill that into adults, because we all used to have it before you started attempting things, and you were so caught up and you were so more you know consumed with, well, what's going to be the finished product. Obviously, as a grown-up now, like, you have to consider those things, like depending on what age you are, injury, depending on the money you're investing, you want to return on your investment, as fast as possible, so you're not, using and allocating more funds and resources to such a thing. But you realize how limiting that is when you're trying something new, especially as it pertains to the human body. Like, and you're attempting things, and wherever your body is, whether you're a professional athlete attempting a career, or you're trying to learn a new skill, or whether you're trying to see what your body can do with strength or and power and abilities, or if you're trying to get it healthier, whatever those things are, you realize that we've lost our curiosity, we've lost our wonder, and how powerful that was when we were children. How beneficial that is, because you attempt things, and you need to attempt them in a way of not being so judgmental of yourself, because you're not good at it, and you're not going to be good at it. And if you can fall in love with the process like the babies do, and just watch them go turn after turn after turn, because they're just so happy to just attempt it, they don't really care about the end result. Because you don't, the power in that, in a child, and not really taking it in fully, but when you see it and you watch it manifest itself, and just being happy to just be there, and just be happy just to try. You wish, and the necessity of that, because I can't tell you how many people come in, and when they try something for the first time, like, and it doesn't go well, because they're watching other people do it, or they've watched someone online do it, and like, I'm not good at this. And like, well, you're not supposed to be. Like, no one expected you to be good at it. Like, don't worry about that. Don't worry so much about the end result. Like, this is the process. Like, you need to do this. Like, you're at this stage, and the only way to get to the end, like, you have to mess up along the way. And we have to encourage the children today, because they get the biggest, they feel the biggest criticism. And we all remember that in like middle school and high school age. You're at the most, not as vulnerable as a child, but you're more aware of the world and socially about how you should act, or what's cool and what's not, and what's acceptable. And you place that upon yourself, and like, you don't want to be ridiculed or criticized, especially now with cell phones and kids like filming everything. I can't imagine what that feels like, to be at that stage that we were all at, and now someone's filming it. But you you have to encourage kids to be like the babies. Like, you have to try this thing, and you have to do it fearlessly, and do it attempt after attempt without losing any enthusiasm. And it's a constant reassurance for people, that this is the process, and the babies know it. They know it at an early age, and they don't know anything else. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch them do. And you hope that us as adults, we keep that curiosity as we age, and we keep. But it's a lot harder because you understand the world just a little differently. They don't. They only know a handful of things, and they know like, hey, I'm going to try this thing out. It's going to go how it's going to go, and it's just fun to just do it. And it's the criticism that people hold themselves to. Like it's the amount of times that countless, and people are like, oh, I need to be in better shape to go to the gym. Like that makes as much sense as like I got to clean my car before I bring it to the car wash. Heaven forbid anyone see me bring my dirty car to the car wash. You like that's what you came here for, right? That would be silly if you brought like the explanation behind it makes it's the same thing. It's like you came here to be better at where you're at. You don't need to be at this level to come in here. You just come in. And where you're at, it's the gym. You work on what you work on, move forward. And where you are in your process is like that's where you're supposed to be. And it's a benefit to just be where you're at and learn the steps and learn more about yourself as you go through it. Like that's the beauty of it. It's the process. It's not the end result. It's the one that gets the most judgment and the most critique. It's the one that gets the most marketing and advertising. And that's how people bring themselves into a space when they're trying new things. But if you can harness that power, that courageousness that the babies have, that the youngins have when they're trying new things on the playground, and they're fearless with their failing and their failure, and they're not failing. They're developing, they're getting stronger as each attempt gets a little bit better. And maybe not what it looks like, but the confidence to keep trying, and to find little things that you're improving on. Like you watch them find the joy in that. They don't care about the end result. And if you can get adults to harness that energy and harness that power, what they can do, what they'll be able to do in the process and the progression of things is immeasurable.